Hey, how you all doing? It's me, Crazyfrankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my Super Bowl 57 pick. Before we talk about the Super Bowl, I don't want to get into too many thoughts on what happened in the conference championship games. Obviously, there was over 2 weeks. There were 2 weeks past already, and if you look at the two teams that are in the Super Bowl right now, the Chiefs and the Eagles, I mean, really, the fact that the Eagles, the team that basically everybody had a lot of doubts, including myself, thought that they weren't going to get to the Super Bowl because given how the 49ers and their defense were. But give the Philadelphia Eagles a ton of credit. They deserve to be in the Super Bowl, and given how they dismantled that 49er offense, basically taking out Brock Purdy and basically leaving the 49ers quarterbackless throughout the entire game, they totally dominated and it looked like, given how the way the Eagles defense played, they were out in full force. And that's why the Eagles deserve that right to be in the Super Bowl. The 49ers basically got outplayed the entire game. They were never in it from the start. Give the Eagles a ton of credit. Now, on the AFC side, I mean, you could argue on a lot of things that what happened in that AFC. It was a good game, but obviously a lot of people are blaming the Cincinnati Bengals defense a lot on that play before the game-winning field goal. Obviously, it was a late hit and all that. Look, I hate to see games come down to things like that the refs have to get involved in things like this, and it's totally just kind of a mess, to be honest. But the Chiefs obviously finally got the monkey off their back against the Bengals because they lost 3 games to them, and they finally pick up a victory against them, and now are in the Super Bowl now for the 3rd time in 6 years. So it's really tough to say going forward what will happen with the 49ers, or let alone, depending on what, they obviously have a quarterback situation that they need to fix very, very soon. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess going into the 2023 season. As far as the Bengals are concerned, I don't know if the window of opportunity is still going to be open for this team to try to fight their way back to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously they were that close to going back, but obviously the Chiefs just flat out played better, and their defense really did expose of the banged up Bengals offensive line that struggled in that game. But anyways, now let's talk about Super Bowl 57. Of course, the matchup in this game is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. As of the time of this video, the Eagles are a 1.5-point favorite in this game. And that number probably will go to 1, and it might end up as you pick them. Given how both these teams both rank number 1 in the conference and all, and given how it's another 1 seed versus 1 seed matchup, and a lot we could say of what will happen in this football game. The way I'll break it down, I'm not gonna get into too much breakdown on how I personally think, but the way I'll break this down is what I think of a couple of advantages that both the Chiefs and the Eagles have. I'm gonna start with on the offensive side. Now, in terms of offense, the Eagles have the edge more in the run game, but the Chiefs do have a better passing game. So basically, when it comes down to offense here, both teams are about it's about even between both these two teams in terms of offense. One can run the ball more effectively, the other can pass. And it's really tough to say, and look, there's really no advantage, in all honesty, in terms of offense between these two teams. I mean, given how Jerick McKinnon of the Chiefs has been able to run the ball effectively for the Chiefs, but it's hard to go against that Eagles running game, that trio punch that they have of Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Sanders, and Jalen Hurts himself in terms of how they run the ball. And that, I figure, is the reason why I would think that, I think for both these two teams in terms of offense, they're about even. But here is where the advantage really goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. On the defensive side, the Eagles were ranked number 1 in terms of sacking the quarterback. They had 70 sacks throughout the regular season. And they really got after whoever was playing quarterback for the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. Never any doubt that defense dismantled the 49ers in the NFC Championship. And you look at their turnover ratio. They're +8 in turnovers. And that their defense, we underestimated them in that game. We underestimated them in the NFC Championship. This defense is for real. And the question for me is how well they can get to... Let's see if that strong defense can get to Patrick Mahomes. Because given how... Look, Patrick Mahomes' ankle is still going to be an issue in this game. but he's well enough to play. And anytime he tries to make a movement or make an incredible pass, this is where the Eagles' defense is going to be tested. But still, defense-wise, the Eagles have more of the advantage. And also in terms of special teams, in terms of kicking, the kicking game and all that, the Eagles have another advantage right there. Kansas City's kicker Butler was hurt first half of the season, and they had to struggle in their kicking game. But Butler has come alive, obviously kicking the game-winning field goal in the AFC Championship game. So personally, I mean, I would say, look, the Eagles tend to have the better kicking game, but it's almost even between the Eagles and the Chiefs in terms of special teams, in terms of kicking. But in terms like rushing and running backs and all that, the Eagles have a clear advantage as well. The way I'm basing this right now, you could say that the Eagles just seem like, on paper, more of the better team. But when you look at this game against the Chiefs, the way that Patrick Mahomes can make plays in their offense, I mean, they're better at the passing game than the Eagles are. And obviously that combo with that tandem that they have between Mahomes and Kelsey is just unmatched. Kelsey is a tough man to defend. And you look at, and obviously, you know, there's a lot of headlines going in this game. Andy Reid coaching against his former team, and then you got the Kelsey brothers, Jason and Travis, playing against each other. I mean, it's really quite a story to see how this game's going to turn out. Now, a lot of it's going to determine, obviously, I think the turnovers are going to be huge in this game. This game is not going to be a blowout. This will definitely go back and forth. I think this is going to be a good Super Bowl. I think that's what I'm hoping for out of this game. I'm hoping it's a good game. I think we're going to get a good game. I don't see any team going to have a clear advantage in terms of it's going to be a blowout or anything like that. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. But it's really going to come down to turnovers. Who makes the plays and who doesn't turn the ball over. That's going to be the key who wins this game. It's now time for my pick. I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles. Their defense dominated the 49ers, and I think their defense will be able to handle Patrick Mahomes. I think they're going to get to him. But this will be a close game. I think this will be a very, very close game. I think this game will definitely go back and forth here, but I think the Eagles pull it out. I don't think it's going to be a game-winning field goal. I think it's going to be a touchdown that's going to determine the game right here. Somehow, Jalen Hurts is just another form of Patrick Mahomes, even though Patrick Mahomes has had more playoff experience than Jalen Hurts has. But somehow, some way, I think that Jalen Hurts will come up with he'll lead that offense down and win the game for the Eagles. So that is my pick to win Super Bowl 57. I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles at -1.5. I want to take this time, everybody, to thank every one of you who took the time to watch my videos. I'm not really as well known as a lot of personalities on YouTube, as well as, you know, being professional and all that. But if there's one thing about talking about football, I love this game. And I really hope that the Super Bowl on Sunday is good. And I think we will get a good game. So I want to take this time to thank every one of you who took the time to watch all my videos all season long. And a lot of you are going to wonder, am I going to be back next season to do this one more time? I will. I'm going to do this another year, and then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can get some recognition out of this, and hopefully that somebody will recognize me and pick me up, and hopefully somebody will give me an opportunity. But in the meantime, thank you all for taking the time to watch these videos. I know they're long and it's tedious, but I love this game. I love football, and I'll see you guys next season when we talk about the NFL 2023 regular season. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody, and I'll see you all next season.